And without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Jair Ribeiro. Jair is a senior AI business strategist at Volvo, currently based in Warsaw. Originally from Brazil, he can speak 6 languages, which I find extremely impressive. He has several years of experience in high-tech environments across Europe, leading teams and projects from Hewlett-Packard and IBM to now Volvo. He currently leads, inspires, and helps the Volvo Group to innovate through the power of AI. An AI evangelist, Jair is an active speaker at international conferences, and not only popularizes IT, but leadership, multiculturalism, and career management. Speaking today on defining a successful artificial intelligence strategy for your business, please welcome Jair.
Thanks, man. Good morning, everybody. Hi. We have a microphone working? Can you hear me there? Okay, so we have a microphone. So, first of all, good morning, everybody. It's not easy to be the first speaker in the morning because some of you are still a little bit sleepy. I try to wake up you during the presentation sometimes. But I'm really happy to be here today, and my first time in Romania. And I have very good days here, and I think I'm really happy to have the possibility to meet you here during these days. As Trevor perfectly presented me, I'm Jair Ribeiro. I don't need to say anything more about this, but just say that after some very intensive years in Hewlett-Packard, living in Italy, Milano, and most recently in IBM, where I moved to Poland, I start to help these companies to work in particular with artificial intelligence, and now I'm working in Volvo for the Center of Excellence of Volvo in Wrocław in Poland, and my goal is to really support these companies through an innovation path, and with a tool that I really believe that it's artificial intelligence. What I want to share with you here today, it's something around how we can create an efficient artificial intelligence development for some of you that are on the development side of the river, and more engaged artificial intelligence adoption for the guys that are on the other side of the river. And me in particular, I believe that the one good way to do this is exactly to have a good artificial intelligence strategy. We're going to understand a little bit more what is it, especially because artificial intelligence, it's a tool that can help you to achieve a lot of great things in business, but it must be aligned to your business plan, your business goals. So whatever you are planning to achieve to this, it's good to have a good strategy. But whatever you are improving a current business or you want to start a new one, we believe that AI should be, let's say, to serve your business plan and not the other way around. You don't really should design an AI based on your business. Your business plan should serve to leverage artificial intelligence. But why? So where we should start? I believe that the great starting point is really to overarch your business plan with artificial intelligence. I will give you some examples about this. But why? It's a little bit hard to start a good and effective AI adoption, because in particular cases that I live my life in big companies since I was young, and one thing that I really find challenging in big companies really is to find the data. Where is it? You know that it's there somewhere, sometimes in paper, sometimes in the cloud, sometimes in whatever, but it's there. To find it sometimes it's not exactly easy, but because when it comes to AI products are really data products. It doesn't matter, you cannot run from this. and you need data to train your algorithms and you train. So whatever, most of the time, sometimes you require data, a lot of data, valid data, and mostly important, you require what I consider good data, because good data, in my opinion, it's an equilibrium between quantity, quality, and relevance of this data, because you can have petabytes of data, but if it's not relevant for the case that you are trying to solve with AI, it's not useful. So, first step to start on this strategy journey, let's consider the data cases. And then, of course, if you don't have a good data strategy, probably you are unlikely to have a good data artificial intelligence strategy anyway. So, one thing that the next step I would like to suggest on this journey, it's really to understand a little bit. You don't need to be PhD on artificial intelligence, but to understand the basics, to go on this direction, it's really good, because we all know artificial intelligence is doing amazing things, but before your team or you or your whole company start to use artificial intelligence, it's really good to have a look on a really realistic, because there are a lot of expectations on this, because to make it works, we need to know how it works in first steps. And of course, we need how to teach AI to get to deliver the task that we are planning. So training is a part of the artificial intelligence, particularly for the machine learning algorithms, and it's based on data, whatever. So data training, it's a step by step that we need to go. So training these algorithms is a fundamental part of artificial intelligence, because and this is what differentiates AI from the other aspects of data analysis on software development, that it's code. Let's say you have code line by line. So AI solutions are based on the data that you have and how you train it. So first step is to really find this differentiation between the standard software development that we are know from this new, let's say, method. And after you understand a little bit what AI is, because most of us know where is it, but the large majority of our colleagues, our customers, our end users, they really don't have a great understanding of what artificial intelligence is and what it's do better, because maybe it's our task to explain as more as possible. Because as I said, AI, it's a great thing that it can be, but it's really good to solve great specifics and well-defined problems. I give you an example, casual example, for example, about self-driving cars. It's really casual. Self-driving cars can look not a really well-defined and specific problem. So why I'm using this example? Because if you break down a big problem called drive a self-driving car in an autonomous way, this is really a big task for everyone. But if you must break down these big tasks in specific ones, like identifying pedestrians in the street, identifying signal traffics, it's one task. Identify the weather to understand which kind of sensor will be more adapted for that situation. To understand, for example, when it's time to steer to left, to right, it's a different task. So for the big problem that we have, I break down this in specific tasks, and then I can solve one by one. It's a very good example of how to apply artificial intelligence on that one. Because every time you break down a big problem in small pieces, you have more chances to succeed on the solving on that one. It can sound obvious, but believe me, I see a lot of customers that don't have this kind of approach. Okay, I have one big problem, I want to solve them. And then the possibilities of failures are really bigger in many of cases. So this is something just to remind a little bit. But as I said before, AI works very well when you are putting this, walking together with your business objectives and your business plan. It's really, and to get the most out of all the artificial intelligence solutions that you can develop or apply in your business, let's try to put it together with your strategy. I mean, if you today are selling ice cream, and some people can think that tomorrow they just can start to put in their headlines, we are selling AI-driven ice cream. I heard it's a real case. I knew an ice cream store that they start to sell AI-driven ice cream. You can look on Google. But is not exactly aligned on what their business wanted to do. Their business to sell ice cream, not to sell AI-driven ice cream. It was on a buzzword anyway. So if you really want to sell AI-driven ice cream from tomorrow, can be a new market. Maybe I give you a great idea for the future. Really, make it a plan to make it this artificial intelligence layer part of the DNA of your business, because it's not something that from today we are AI-oriented company. It's a part of the business that should be. Must think that I believe that to have a great adoption and development of AI, it's really prioritized. Some of us, me and Prince, we are not so good on prioritization, but so I will give you some questions that you would like to put to help you on prioritizing this your journey. What are the top business priority that you have today? Forget AI. What's the top business priority that you have in your career, in your company, your team? And how can AI help you to deliver these strategic goals? When you start to answer these questions, you go to the next one that is really important, that it's what problems, based on what I assessed here, AI can help me to solve, or I need to solve right now. Because from this list, you will have what we call use cases. Okay, it's the specific area or the problem that you're going to focus to solve with an AI problem, with AI for your team, for your customer, for your end users. So, and why prioritization is important? Because maybe like me, you have a lot of problems in your life to solve. So you cannot solve all the problems in the world in one specific quarter or week or month. My manager don't think like this, but believe me, it's true. You cannot solve everything in the one quarter. So you put prioritization based on these questions. It really helps you to go ahead on the next step. That the next step, it's about data. Coming back to what I said before, your strategy of AI, whatever you are doing with artificial intelligence, must be based on data. You cannot run from this. And maybe you need to start to review a little bit how your data strategies be doing. Doesn't matter if you're a developer, a business leader, or whoever you will sell AI-driven ice cream, you must understand the data that you have. And there are some questions that I put here that maybe can help you to understand if you are in the right direction to the data collection. For example, ask yourself, do I have the right sort of data to achieve my AI priorities that I defined before? The answer can be binary, yes or no. Based on this, if yes, I have enough data for this, enough data to have the good data equilibrium between, do you remember? Equilibrium between what? Exactly, and relevance, because if you have terabytes of data, that doesn't matter, it's not relevant. So quantity in this case, but relevance. And of course, if you are in the big mess, how can you set up the new collection data methods to achieve this data quality that you are. So think about this, and maybe you can have a third-party support to get the data, similar data what you should have and whatever. But anyway, don't start to scream because there are solutions. But you just need to, because the point here is, how can you begin from today to acquire more data in a more strategic way? That questions, I believe, that can give you the first steps from this. But I will never have enough time to talk about this next topic that I put here. We need to talk more about this. We need to discuss, we need to communicate more about the ethical implications and legal implications of artificial intelligence. Wherever you are doing today, if you are a developer, if you are a business leader, if you are a student that will start your career in AI, think about, I personally would like to ask you to think about this, because there are a lot of ethical and legal considerations around artificial intelligence. A lot of, and you probably, based on the use cases that you select before, if you are following me on this journey here, in many of the use cases that you select, you will encounter these problems. So, because it's really part of the AI artificial intelligence development today. So, to help you to make some critical questions on these aspects, I put some points here that maybe you should start to think about this today. Because AI, it's a citation there, AI is a mirror of our own biases. So AI, it's automation made by humans. So let's take attention on this. But start to make an own question. How can you avoid, doesn't matter what you are doing today, developing, managing, or influencing somehow artificial intelligence community, how can you avoid to invade people's privacy with your artificial intelligence solution? You should ask these questions not in the end of the development, but in day zero, by design. Ethical and security and legal issues should be considering the day zero. And are there, in your opinion, any legal implications when it comes to using this artificial intelligence solution? This is a question for day zero too, because you cannot think about this when your product is in the hands of customer or for your colleagues. And what sort of consent, authorization should I have from my customers, from my users, or from my colleagues, employees, to use my solution? You don't have to wait for GDPR and wherever regulators are working to make these questions. This is important from you as a designer, of a developer, of a business leader. But most important in this topic is, how can you ensure your artificial intelligence solution or idea is free of bias and discrimination? Because this is a very important topic that I see a lot of customers and a lot of clients that I have contacted that didn't have the right approach, the real serious approach on these topics, and then the solution can bring a lot of issues. So from day zero, if we start to have this kind of questions, it can really bring a better AI development from the good AI development point of view. I would like to reinforce on this. But you probably know that artificial intelligence can bring a lot of concerns in people. These concerns start from Skynet taking over and robots destroy our humanity, from jobs losses in the market. Both of them are really, from some point of view, are reasonable. So it can be funny, but there are some discussions about this. But what is important, it's not to ignore or not to laugh about those concerns that people can have, but it's to understand, to talk, and to manage these concerns. Because artificial intelligence is changing everything. It's changing our life today. It's changing the way we are doing pictures. We saw a very interesting application here about use of neural networks on images. I just downloaded their application some minutes ago. It's really interesting. It's changing the way you're taking pictures, changing the way you produce ice cream in the future, or maybe it's changing the way we are working in our companies. So it's changing. A lot of changes. That is a cultural changes, and we need to plan on how to manage these new changes. And in specific, how we're going to manage these cultural changes of artificial intelligence in your team, in your company, with your colleagues, on your specific development way or the way to develop artificial intelligence solutions. Think about the cultural impact of artificial intelligence, and then plan to solve this problem, because it's part of this today. Well, I've been traveling a lot for my company to meet people around the world in conference like this. And here yesterday I was talking with a lot of people. I see a lot of new talents. I see even right here now, yesterday and today, a lot of talents in this IT community. It's always growing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see how IT is growing in many countries. But the AI skills gap is still a problem when you are trying to develop great level artificial intelligence solutions. But because the overall of the AI skills in the world, except if you are Facebook or Google. Anyone from Facebook or Google here? No. Because they have the possibility to have all the skills, all the highest talents that they want for many reasons. Maybe because we want to work on Facebook, that's like, or Google. But more, they have the resources to fill the gap of skills. If you're not Google or Facebook, let's truly understand that maybe you start to analyze this difficulty, this challenge to find the real good talent of artificial intelligence today. And then you need to understand a little bit what you should do to fill this gap. Maybe hiring new talents. If you want to hire someone, I see very good talents here around. And of course, maybe you need to train your people in-house with this technologies and new techniques of artificial intelligence. Or maybe you could partner with external partners or external AI providers to bring the solution into your house. But anyway, AI is done by people, so you need to consider the importance of people in the development of the solution, and people trained and skilled. It's not so easy to find in the market. Well, I'm sorry that in the morning I give you a lot of challenges on this, but if you are not really desperate and you want to go ahead on this, I believe there are some good news on this one. Not only bad news, that it's always challenging to have a good AI strategy, but it's important for us that we can, let's say, understand that AI is here today, and we cannot really afford not to be in this, let's say, in this flow that of artificial intelligence are changing in our society, in our business. So just to recap a little bit what we discussed during this, don't sit down, start to build a very good data team in your company, or start to think on data strategically, and develop good practices for working with this data. It's fundamental first step. And of course, understand that AI needs to be trained. It's not AI that you just code and it's there. There's training and fine-tuning based on the data that you have. And of course, don't go away from the problems. Don't hide yourself from the problems that you probably will encounter during your journey just be aware that will be problems and get along with these problems in the way. In particular, the change management is really important when it comes to artificial intelligence. And most important, as AI, it's a very powerful tool to set a lot of business problems in the company. But I particularly believe that the best and most ethical artificial intelligence solutions are really effectively used to augment human capacity, not to substitute and replace them. So, and AI must be developed and managed in a clear and specific light of ethics and principles. So align it with your principles, and you're going to have a good artificial intelligence, as we call. I hope you are ready. Are you ready to go ahead? Are you ready? Yeah, don't worry, you will be ready, and I hope you'll be ready. The fact that you are here today, it's a good sign that you are in the good direction too, because we have great speakers here today that are going to give a lot of other details of artificial intelligence. So you are here today, it's a good step to have on this direction. If you need any questions, if you have any to go on these details, just reach me on LinkedIn. I answer questions every day about these topics. Just reach me on LinkedIn and wherever, or Twitter, wherever you want. And I would like to thank you the invitation for this great event that I'm really having a great time to be here. Thank you very much for your attention.